Beyond numbers, that's what we're going to talk about today. In 2024, World Vision Lanka reached nearly 100,000 children and families across the island, delivering vital support in health, nutrition, education, livelihoods, and climate resilience. But behind every figure is a story. A child who gets a proper meal, a family earning a sustainable income, a community learning to weather disasters. Today on Kaleidoscope Dialogues, we sit down with Dr. Dhanan Senathirajah to unpack these numbers, reveal the real impact, and explore how data translates into lasting change. You have 8,491 new sponsors. Now, how does World Vision's these new sponsors translate into real impact for the nearly 100,000 children?
The money that the sponsors send doesn't go directly to the children or to the child's family. It goes for the benefit of the community itself. In the sense that if there are, for example, 6,000 children in one area program, the funding goes to the benefit of all the children in that area program. For example, we go and build a school that not only benefits the sponsored children, it also benefits all the children in their community. So in effect, and on average, say a sponsored child's revenue will help at least another 8 children.
So, over 6,500 people were helped in the health and nutrition area. What were the biggest improvements that you saw, and what were the gaps that could?
Primarily, we identify, working along with the government, we identify the malnutrition aspect early. So what we try to do is we try to bring about a mindset change in the parents themselves, in particular the mothers, to address the issue of malnutrition by going for sustainable methodology, in the sense to look for food or food sources that are locally available, which tend to be cheaper and also more environmentally friendly. And then we follow up, have a follow-up program with the parents along with the government authorities of that area.
So, Damin, what does the improvement of water, sanitation, hygiene services mean for community resilience?
Water is life, it's life-giving. At the same time, it's also about the dignity of the community. If you have access to proper water, drinking water, as well as for cleaning and washing, then it also adds to their dignity. It allows the children more time to sit and study, spend more time with their studies. So in the past, we have had many water sanitation hygiene projects. One of our largest projects were in 2 phases in the south, in Nellore, which was funded by a UK bank, and it was for an amount of 1.35 million US dollars. And this was this is still the largest gravity flow water project in Sri Lanka's history. And it provided for at least 2,000 families, plus government offices, police stations, hospitals, as well as schools and temples.
So, you also do a number of economic sort of initiatives that are in place. So, savings groups, income programs, producer group. How has that translated into sustainable income for families? Have you seen tangible benefits?
Definitely. These tools are primarily to help them become independent. And my favorite are the savings groups. So, generally, more than 95% of the savings group members are females, and many of them have never worked before or had any source of income. They are totally dependent on their husbands, and sometimes that can also lead to marital abuse within the home. So there are these women who are now become independent, and they are able to save, and about 90% of them invest in sustainable business models, small businesses. As a result, they become independent, their dignity is improved, and in addition to that, there are enough sources for their children's education. So at the moment, we have 2,000 active savings groups and 40,000 women actively participating in them. And over a period, the actual savings have been altogether 4 billion rupees. And they also have a social fund to help others, which is now standing at 42 million rupees.
So, is World Vision doing anything to tackle food insecurity? For instance, where are you seeing food insecurity, especially which districts?
In Sri Lanka, food insecurity is not, at the same average level all over. It's primarily in the north, to a certain extent in the east, and very high in the plantation sector. So that's where we have concentrated a lot on improving food security, and we have gone in for climate smart agriculture. In addition to that, home gardening as well, and these things really help the families to become sustainable in their food intake. In fact, a recent survey shows that 51% of households have either reduced their food intake or they have cut down on the number of meals. This is after the 2022 crisis. And this is where we have been able to make an impact.
So you have 35 Impact Plus youth clubs training adolescents as well as community peace builders. How are you measuring that long-term social impact?
So we have seen enormous impact in these areas. You have youngsters, they are now able to come together and relate to one another, build up relationships. They're able to solve conflicts without violence. And we've also, I'm happy to say that we've also kept many of them away from dangerous substances like alcohol, tobacco, and drugs, and they're able to also build up confidence, um, life skills, communication skills, soft skills. All of these have worked out in these communities. And the main advantage of this is that these youngsters are now beginning to advocate for their rights and for the rights of the community. In general, in Sri Lanka, we, perhaps in our generation, we never listened to the children, or we were not listened to. But these children are able to advocate and show the adults what their needs are and what kind of a world they want to live in.
So your climate smart programs, how effective has it been in reducing disaster risks?
Disaster risk cannot be reduced or eliminated by climate smart programs. It helps them to recover quickly after a disaster situation.
And have you seen that?
That has
Have
happened.
you the-
And even after Cyclone Ditwa and even earlier climate related emergencies, they bounce back because they are using the resources that are available. And they also spend a lot of their focus is on the soil preservation and on the water sources. And that has helped them to recover very quickly.
What are the biggest and the most impactful results you have seen in children?
We believe in the fullness of life for all the children. It's an overall, all round development of their personality, starting from their health and nutrition, their education, then water sanitation, hygiene. And in addition to that, building up children who will enjoy their childhood. In addition to that, prepare them to be responsible adults when they grow up.
Dhanan, all your projects need money. Yeah. How do you ensure you have sustained funding and what is the balance between international and local funding?
At the moment, a bulk of our funding is international, but over the last decade, we have started building up local partnerships as well. And we've also reached out to the diaspora community because over 2 million Sri Lankans are living overseas and most of them are doing pretty well in life. And we have reached out to them. And to give you an example, we have got two major funding sources recently. One is a Jaffna hospital project, which is close to about 130 million US dollars. It is in the final stages of approval from the government, and that came through Diaspora Connections. And the other one is a company called Tramontana, a financial services company based in London, United Kingdom, and they are into environmental projects which we are trying to do all over Sri Lanka. So these are examples of diaspora funding. We have also reached out to foreign foundations, foreign corporates, as well as local corporates. So we have kind of diversified our funding sources. Unlike certain other NGOs where the funding was very restricted and they put all their eggs into one basket, say, for example, the US government's decision to pull out USAID, that affected them, but it didn't affect us too much because we have diversified it quite a bit. And we also believe in being very creative when it comes to our fundraising efforts.
So, looking forward to the next few years, what are your boldest priorities?
Okay. The initial one for the next couple of years would be the recovery after this, the impact of Cyclone Ditwa. But in addition to that, we believe that Sri Lanka is on the verge of another spurt of growth, which means we will have pockets of poverty rather than general poverty all over Sri Lanka. So we will concentrate in those areas. Education is very important to take them up to the next level. So we are going to be completing 50 years in about a year's time. So we are doing a project, 50 schools in 50 weeks. So we are going to provide smart boards and other equipment to bring the schools up to the 21st century standard. And we've already opened the first one and another 49 schools to go. In addition to that, our goal is to eliminate malnutrition and have a healthy childhood for our children.
Stay connected with Kaleidoscope on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn for all our latest stories.
You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Silico Life.